record. He will face off against Arkaitz Ramos, one of the top strikers in Spain, who has extensive experience and titles in K1. Coming up next, Benoist, the God of War Saint-Denis, takes on Arkaitz Ramos in the super lightweight bout.
All right, Brave Nation, Milan, Italy, and the rest of the world, watching this historic night for Brave Combat Federation 52 Bad Blood. Let's continue with our third bout of the evening. First up, please welcome, representing Black's team and fighting out of Spain, give it up for Arkaitz Ramos!
Third fight of the night, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back in the super lightweight division. Introducing, making his debut in Brave Combat Federation, Arkaitz Ramos, 32 years old, bringing with him a 6-2 professional record. 5 of his wins coming by KO or TKO, his other win coming by way of submission. That translates into a 100% finish record. As we can see on the graphic, a fantastic striking pedigree, 23-3 professional K1 record. He has never been submitted in his professional career, but he has never faced anyone like Benoist Saint-Denis in his professional career.
He has not, Phil. Mixed martial arts is a game of rock, paper, scissors. Rock is striking. Paper is wrestling. Scissors is submission. This is a man who is coming in with rocks.
And it must be said, whilst on the face of it, you may think this is just a one-dimensional striker. That couldn't be further from the truth. He is also a BJJ brown belt, so more than capable of getting in there and mixing it up on the ground. Final checks and balances being done here for Arkaitz Ramos, fighting out of Black's Fight Club in his native Spain. Not too much of a departure. He's never fought outside of his native Spain, so fighting in Italy isn't too much of a departure. It's not a million miles away, so not a lot of transitionary work to be done there. But Arkaitz Ramos, ready to make his debut.
And let's welcome his opponent, representing Venom Training Center and fighting out of France. Please welcome Benoist, the God of War, Saint-Denis.
Benoist, God of War, Saint-Denis, perfect in his professional mixed martial arts career at 7-0 with 1 no contest. He has only been a pro since February of 2019, already amassing 7 wins, 7 finishes, 6 by way of submission, 4 of those wins coming in the very first round. In his last fight, he defeated former lightweight champion Luan Miao Santiago via a beautiful head-arm triangle, thus becoming the #1 contender in the super lightweight division. However, he spoke with his team. He thought, I do not want to wait. I do not want to sit around and wait for my title shot. I want to stay active. I want to show Brave Nation just how good of a fighter I am. What does that tell you about the former French Special Forces man?
Phil, sports in general, and combat sports in particular, are built around a handful of people. When Michael Jordan left the NBA, viewership of the entire sport of professional basketball dropped by 30%. Therefore, the future of mixed martial arts rests in the hands of just a few fighters. And when those few fighters are young, I call them the next big thing. That is what we're looking at right here.
A judo black belt and a BJJ purple belt. Benoist, God of War Saint-Denis, is the #1 contender. Can he keep that accolade here tonight against Arkaitz Ramos?
Here we go, Brave Nation. This bout is 3 5-minute rounds in the super lightweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 6 wins and 2 losses. He stands 184 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 75 kilograms. Representing Black's team and fighting out of Bilbao, Spain, please welcome Arkaitz Ramos! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man's a mixed martial artist with a perfect professional record of 7 wins, no losses, and 1 no contest. He stands 180 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 75.3 kilograms. Representing Venom Training Center and fighting out of Paris, France. Give it up for Benoist, God of War, Saint-Denis! Your referee is Stefano Valente.
Bill, although I could not give God of War higher accolades, the outcome of this bout is by no means a foregone conclusion. More than any other sport I've ever been involved with, anything can happen. I can barely breathe with excitement. This fight could go over very quickly.
Huge leg kick to open up there. And these guys are trading heavy leather right away. No feeling out process whatsoever, but look at the laser type focus of Benoist, God of War Saint-Denis. That's a beautiful takedown. Lands right into the half guard position. Arkaitz Ramos does a good job of maintaining guard, trying to get the sweep with that butterfly hook. Transition back into half guard from Benoist Saint-Denis.
That was a very interesting takedown, Phil. A lot of fighters go for a slam there, but that slam can create little areas where the opponent can pop up. Instead, God of War gently put his opponent on his back, but it was very successful in keeping him there. He's now going to try and pass that guard. He went from a half guard to the beginnings of a quarter guard. He's going to take that left knee, presumably try and slide it across his opponent's hips, and then his opponent is in even worse shape.
As we've seen on so many occasions, Carrick, Benoist Saint-Denis has a devastating top game, and like a hot knife through butter, right into the mount positions, grapevines the legs. That is stunning jiu-jitsu.
Stunning and very quick in less than 1 minute. God of War took a shot and took his fighter right out of his game.
As you say, Carrick, he has so much time here with which to work. Doing a great job of just isolating the hips of Arkaitz Ramos, giving him greater control. Now switching momentarily to the Dagestani handcuff.
People sometimes think that shots thrown from the mount because the hips aren't fully involved don't hit that hard. Believe me, they do. You're seeing somebody with extraordinary core strength here, and those shots hurt. Those shots are causing damage.
Keep an eye out for the head-arm triangle. Arkaitz doing a good job to try and get some sort of guard back. Was able to work to the half guard, but again, very similar position. It could just be a case of rinse, repeat here for Benoist, God of War Saint-Denis.
Half guard without the underhook when you're flat in your back is sort of like half mount. There's not a lot of offense you can do from there. And once again, Benoist could have gone to side control, instead chose to take mount. As you said, rinse, repeat. Here comes the punches.
As I alluded to, he won his last fight via head-arm triangle. He may be trying to work that here. Just softening up Arkaitz Ramos, who there's the start of the head-arm triangle, pins the head down. This is
not just the start, Bill.
And let's see if he chooses to flatten out or he keeps a knee on the hip.
This isn't even the beginning of the end.
Oh, this is beautiful jiu-jitsu.
Middle of the end.
Arkaitz Ramos trying desperately to mount some sort of offense, but could this be an inevitability? But look at what he does with the knee. I love that. He puts the knee on the hip of his
Beautiful
opponent.
hip pressure on that knee, but big props to Arkaitz for throwing shots from the bottom there. A lesser man would have tapped out by now. already.
Now, he's been in this position for quite a while. Is Benoist Saint-Denis in trouble of perhaps burning out his arms?
A normal fighter would be. This is not a normal fighter.
Eats the draw. There's the tap! The second head-on triangle in a row. Benoist Saint-Denis is a fired-up fighter. 8-0 as a professional. Maintains his status as the #1 contender in the super lightweight division.
Brave Nation, that is why they call this man the God of War. That is why I say this man, Benoist Saint-Denis, is the future of mixed martial arts. He is the next big thing.
Awesome show of respect there from both men, but Benoist Saint-Denis just reminding everybody why he is such a dominant force in global mixed martial arts. And interestingly, Carrick, Eldar Eldarov, the super lightweight champion, is here tonight. It'll be interesting to see, does Benoist Saint-Denis have a message for Eldar Eldarov?
He is, Phil, and I think he's going to get a call out. Irish Thunder, Phil Campbell is heading up to the Brave Combat Federation cage. We're going to get a little look, courtesy of Green Hill, little look at that finish. As I said, this submission right now, you look at the veins popping out on the bottom player's face. His entire head is under extraordinary pressure. Any lesser fighter would have tapped out, and there it was. There was no other choice but to tap out. And that's what we saw here. Beautiful technique, beautifully maintained. As Phil said earlier, when that knee went on the hip, it prevented the opponent from turning to hips in, possibly getting to a half guard, taking a little bit of pressure off of that head. What you're seeing there is a balloon just about to burst.
All right, Brave Nation, this bout comes to an explosive end at 3 minutes and 9 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by head and arm triangle, Benoist